Nexxlegacy.
All right. This is Nexxlegacy Radio. I am Branded here with a beautiful guest with not just a fire song. I want to get to know this woman, and I think y'all should get to know this woman as well. Not just someone that's on the rise as far as just music, sound, something different in the world of music that we should all tap in, pay attention, and support. When I say support, I need y'all to go buy her product, support her in shows, book her for shows, go holler at the queen. Listen, she got a good, hot single, Visions, When I Think You, that's out. You can hit it up on Spotify. You can follow my girl, KVictoria, on Instagram at iamKVictoria, Facebook, Victoria Music, Twitter, iamKVictoria, YouTube, KVictoria Vivo, VEVO, and I have the beautiful queen, talented KVictoria on Nexxlegacy Radio. What's up, girl?
Thank you so much for that introduction. That was mob. That was nice. Appreciate you.
Listen, if it made you smile, then listen, it's just good look overall. Did. That's what's up. So listen, I want everybody to get to know you. So I want to, before we start talking about the single, music, all that good stuff, right? I want everybody to get to know you. So let the people know who you are and how you got started doing music.
Well, my name is KVictoria, and I'm actually originally from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. I started writing music when I was in high school, but I always had a passion for music and was just inspired to create like my own records, not just sing other people's records. So that's when I started songwriting, and ever since then I just kept it up and continued to develop my craft and perform for artists that will be doing shows. Like, for instance, Wyclef Jean, I opened up for him. Egyptian, for all of my Caribbean music fans. Egyptian, Lady Star, and Maxi Priest, or a couple other artists I was opening up for. And then I just moved to LA because I decided I wanted a more larger creative community to collaborate with people from different worlds and different environments, backgrounds. So this just seemed like the best place to come on the main line for me. And, like the U.S. Virgin Islands is a U.S. territory, so it was just like an easy transition. And it's been a great time so far. So, like you said, my Instagram is at iamKVictoria, Facebook, KVictoria Music, and I'm always posting little stuff about my experiences out here and just what it is to live my life and do shows, all that types of stuff, and sharing my music, which is basically what I'm doing. So that's how you get to know more about me, but this is like a good introduction, so you get a feel for what I'm about. Like, the style of music I do is R&B, pop, soul generally, but I'm very inspired with Caribbean influences in the music. I basically I'm the inspiration is well-rounded, so when I create, I kind of just let something flow that's organic and bring something new to R&B pop that's not something you always hear before, That's my best.
And that's something that I definitely got to appreciate and absorb, because when people get a chance to listen to you, and I'm talking about go support this woman, go hit her up, not just follow her, go buy her stuff, go stream her stuff, go listen, go make traffic her way, because I feel like you're 1,000% right. I think the music has to have a different sound. It has to have somebody coming from the gut, like from the heart, from the soul, to be able to put something out there that's creative, that sounds like you, that don't sound like nobody else. That's a motivator. So when you first started doing music, what was that one moment, KVictoria, where you were like, you know what, this is my passion. This is what I live for.
Wow, I can't even. I would say it was when I wrote my first song. Like, I wrote my first song, and I was like, in my mid-teens and teenager, and I kind of like, I guess when it came out good, and then when we recorded it in the studio, and then performed it on stage live, it was kind of like, wow, like this turned out so good. I want to keep doing it. So I would say at that point it was like, yeah, this is for me. Like I had the idea, I came up with the song, we recorded it, we performed it, and it's all good. Heck yeah, we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep evolving and developing our vibes and everything, and just take it to the top. Take it, keep moving forward.
I can tell, Queen, you having fun with what you're doing right now. Like, I'm looking at all your visuals. I'm just seeing how active you are. You seem like you just is embracing not just the moment, but just the opportunity for you to have a footnote in this business. And, I mean, I feel like I'm a good judge of character and perspective, but you are having fun right now, right? You living your best life?
I am having a blast. I love life. I always tell people, I love life. I love God. I love inspiring people to believe that anything in life is conquerable. That's the kind of things that kind of, energizes me forward. So I always, try to enjoy myself all the time, of course. Even in the challenging times, I know we had the quarantine and all of this stuff going on. People like, you will still have fun. It don't have to just be like some kind of post on Instagram, but it could actually be like, going out and just having a good time despite, the things that might pop up here and there. So I always try to do that, just be joyful. That's like the number one thing that I try to, in my priority list,
That's what's up. You mentioned challenges, so, obviously 2020, a couple of years ago, almost going on 3, we, everything stopped. The world stopped. It was hard to move around as far as doing shows, certain things or whatever. Just challenges in general that you faced or whatnot. Like, if you can, name a few, and then how did you overcome some of them?
I think it was a little different when things got quiet. I kind of felt the, pressure to be a part of the change, and then I felt kind of like the pressure to be a part of it the way that everybody else or majorities or groups were internalizing things. And I think that was hard because our only communication was through internet for the most part. And so it was just kind of like I found myself grounding in my individual, like in being true to myself more at that time and kind of connecting to my individuality more, because it was like I didn't want to just be doing things for the sake of doing things. I wanted to put my own footprint out there. And so it was kind of deciphering between what was kind of like pressured upon me and then what was really something that I wanted to do, that I was passionate about, that I felt that, hey, this is what I need to be a part of. And I feel like I'm not alone, and I feel like a lot of people were challenged that way. But my way of dealing with it was just grounding and just like, just focusing on my individuality, my truth, and like, okay, does this really work for me? Like, take a second, because there's a lot going on, and I just think authenticity is so important. And, when you share yourself in any way, like, I want to be able to give all of me to whatever I commit myself to. And so I just made sure that was the motivation, because it was a lot, and it was really distracting. So I would say that's one thing, like, just, sustaining my individuality amidst all the noise. Another thing would probably be just hearing the dramatics of all the painful things that was happening to people, and just feeling like, wow, how do you just keep going forward, keep being keep having a good attitude and doing what you got to do, and still consider what's happening. And I think for me it was, like you said, just getting your priorities straight, like just focusing on being joyful. Like, okay, what's going to make sure every day I'm doing something? What's going to make me feel happy today? What's going to make someone else feel happy? All of that is synergy. So I just kind of made that a priority, and that helped me to just keep the positive energy flowing as much as possible. And I think, what else? It was just really difficult overall, I think. As far as just acknowledging what was going on, but at the same time, I feel like community and family helped me, friends helped me to kind of just be able to deal with what was happening overall in a better way, in a better perspective. You know what I mean?
I think
is that clear?
Yeah. I think as an artist, and KVictoria is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, I feel like as an artist, even as, anybody doing anything on a business level, when things get shut down, you kind of tend to want to look in the mirror and figure out, like, is there other creative ways I can still push my agenda? Obviously, with the thoughts and prayers going to a lot of people who were affected, businesses were affected, business were closed, a lot of people lost their lives, a lot of families were affected. There's so many different aspects as far as going on, but as a musician, I know it's hard because the show stopped. The music didn't necessarily stop because you could, depending on what your situation is, you can still, find time to make some music if possible, or try to get it out there to a sense. But just being out there for the people is different. It's just different. You have to learn how to move different. One thing I can respect about you, not just being a new fan of your music as I'm getting to know you, but just appreciating just the effort that you put out, because a lot of people, KVictoria is like this. Too many people out there they start doing music and then they stop for whatever reason, or they just lose interest, or they have a love-hate relationship in some things. You know what I mean? It's just a different time that we live in, just based on effort, right? So you seem like you have a relentless effort and you just don't have any quit in you. So my question is, where'd you get it? And the follow-up with that is, how with all the with the backlog of artists and everything like that that's popping, how are you still maintaining that consistency too?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a natural thing for me to just stick with what is really true. Like I said, was really sincere, coming from my heart in terms of, how I feel I want to express, how I feel I want to connect. So, I just kind of allow it. I don't like disallow it. I just allow it. You know what I mean? And as I continue to do that, it just, I'm able to continue to put out content, continue to connect and develop, different avenues, different ways to be creative, to create music, and to share vibes from the brand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, there's always going to be a lot of people doing a lot of things. That's what I think. So it's like, that's never going to change no matter what I do. So I guess my way of looking at things is like, I'm an individual. Nobody is me. Nobody can do what I do the way I do it. And so that's what I'm bringing to the table. There's no way to debate that reality, because that's a fact. And I definitely make sure to not give you Beyonce or Rihanna or anybody else's energy. I definitely, it's like imperative. It's like very, very like necessary for me to give you me, Right. And what I do, like, as just being true to myself and doing it. So, that's how I do it.
No, and I appreciate that, because it radiates. It radiates. It really does. And it comes off your music, and it comes off, again, I'm big on energy, right? Like, to me, it's just like, you can have talent, and if you're gifted, both ways, that's cool. I'm big on talent and energy and effort. Like, you tie all them three up, it's just like, you can't deny that, like, at the end of the day. And it's just, it's good to be able to tap into that. And when you got other people out there, and I know you on the rise, and you got all kinds of things in play right now, just take it back when you first got started. Was it somebody that helped you along the way to kind of get to where you're at right now? Or did you have to be self-sufficient and just try to find it on your own?
Wow. So I've had times in different seasons, and that's important for people to understand. It's like, I'm not even people. Like, it's just important for us just to survive, to be able to be okay with change sometimes. That's what I mean. Because, like, there were times when people were around helping me, and then there were times when it was just coming from me, and I was the main person. I didn't feel like there was as much. So you just, because of the fact that I've experienced both, I just know that, you know, it happens. But I'm grateful for all the people that have supported me and have been in, you know, the person opening doors and that sort of thing. But it definitely started with my passion for it. I think that was kind of like what inspired other people to, you know, support at different times. But it started out where it was just me singing in my bathroom.
Right.
Just getting my people together, and, you know, and that's what it started, you know. So I always remember that, you know, I try to remember that as well. And yeah, so it's just, yeah, I just be true to myself, even though sometimes you want to have a whole bunch of people always behind what you're doing. Sometimes, you know, everybody doesn't have the vision to see what it is that you're doing. And, you know, you have to be true to you and, you know, and remember, like, that's always going to, you know, that's a part of what you put out, being a sincere impact to others. And that's great. So that's just a part of, you know, the way things work. It starts with you first, you know, that's all. That's the best way I can say it. It starts with you, it starts with me, and then I feel like people did come along and support along the way. And it's great, you know.
Love it. I love it. KVictoria is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. She is also brought to you by www.iamKVictoria.com. And with this single that's out now, Visions, when I think you on Spotify, it's available now. People can definitely go stream it, go tap in, go buy it, go support it, all that good stuff. Tell me the origin story about this song. How did you get this together?
Oh my gosh! So this song is about different perspectives of situations that remind you of positive experiences, like different aspects that kind of bring you back to the emotion of love, like wind passing, hair blowing, lights flashing. You know, it makes you think of the excitement when you're feeling somebody or when you're in a great mood. And that's what I wanted the song to represent, a great mood, love, celebration. So and when I write, sometimes you just put on the track and just let whatever comes come. And I feel like in a lot of ways that's what happened with this one. So it was just pure magic with this record.
That's how you come up with hits, when it comes straight from the heart or from the soul or from both. And you can be able to, you know, it doesn't matter if you're in love right at this moment, you have been in love before, or whatever the case may be. You just you might pull the heartstrings of a situation or whatnot, and you just kind of reminisce. And that's one thing I respect about this single, which is available now on Spotify, is that you could literally kind of tap into something as far as how you feel or felt. And music is a powerful thing, KVictoria. I swear to God, it is. Like, on so many levels, you can be able to pull it, and it just creates so many memories or moments or certain things like that. You feel what I mean?
Yes, I do. Like, that's why I really wanted the song to represent, like, love, but also just celebration, also being in love, but just the feeling of just being in a good mood. So when I said lights flashing, hearts open, bodies merging, all of these things, like, if they were visually flashing before your eyes, it would just give you this, like, feeling of, like, being in a rave, or, like, just being in just, like, you know, the spontaneity of just, like, how life is, you know. And I just tried to put that in the song the best way I could, and Visions was born. It's like, can you see the vision?
Souls connecting, merging, energies intertwined, anything that kind of feels like it's good again. Yeah, good energy. You gotta respect the feeling of music. Like I said, it's super powerful when it comes down to that. And with this single out, obviously you doing phenomenal work with the visual parts of putting your stuff out there and your product. What's been the biggest gift that you can give when you have strangers like myself just kind of tap in and say, hey, this is this is great. You know what I mean? This is a good opportunity. Have you heard other people dissecting your single or other music and just kind of giving you some good words of encouragement?
Well, the good thing is you're not a stranger anymore.
Hey,
but I will say that when people do want to like connect and hear, I guess, get more insight about the record and about who I am and what I'm doing. Was that kind of what you're asking?
Yep.
Shit, I forgot the question. Okay.
Nah, you good. You was right on point, girl. My feedback. My feedback's super different, right? I kind of dissect it as far as tell you how I feel about it. Some people be like, yeah, I like the beat. You know what I'm saying? The lyrics are dope. This, and this, or whatever. So, what are some other things people have been saying, though, about it?
Just the feel-good energy, the new energy, because this is kind of like a different direction creatively that I went in before. So than I've been in before. So it's more pop, R&B pop energy. And I think that it's kind of like I would hear that, it's really like a feel good, but it really feels good. It really has that top-notch sound. Like this sounds like I could be listening to it in a rave, or I want to be, hearing this on the radio, or I always get that kind of good feedback about how the song feels, and definitely like the new direction I took. They'd be like, "That's what's up. You doing your thing with that too," So it's a lot of different things, but positive vibes.
I just like how I could now have a platform to tell you how I feel about it. Like, it's not just like a lot of people kind of tap into, and it's, obviously it's sound. It's sound that creates emotions, that creates feelings, that creates energy, that creates this opportunity I'm having with you right now. So it's dope to be able to say, this is how I feel when I listen to your song. You know what I mean? Like, it's deeper than just, watching your visuals and listening to it word for word, or capture moments or whatever. Like, it's just dope that we could be able to put this, and there's so many different layers to how music is and things like that. So with that being said, who are some of the people that you have been inspired by as far as established artists or even other artists that, as your peers on the rise?
Definitely been inspired by Kanye West as far as a creative, because I feel like he came in the door with something that no one else was doing at the time when he came out, and also just had the open mind that he's been able to, accomplish a production career and a, rap career, and the freedom I hear in his creative process. All of that is like, really, really cool to me. I definitely would want to work with that kind of freedom. Lauryn Hill as well. She's very inspiring to me. Her entire career, very real, sincere artist. Really about her character, and then her voice comes through from that. And I think that's really a very genuine success. So I like that about just how she, does her thing, and how and obviously being so talented with the rapping and the singing too.
Right.
I felt that, I haven't heard, like, can anybody rap better than her? And then when you say, can anybody sing better than her? It's like, well, her voice is so unique that. So I really admire her. Would love to work with. She inspired me as well. So many artists inspired me. Aaliyah growing up, of course, the style, the confidence, the natural, quality. It just felt sincere. It's just, she's just a bomb. And Buju Banton, as far as reggae, his eclectic styles and vibrations was, I would listen to his records growing up. My dad would be playing them in the car. So that was like when I first started to visualize an artist. Like, okay, this is what an artist is. So, like, versus like singer, songwriter. Aaliyah and Buju Banton did that for me. Like the whole package of artist, okay, you know, a unique vibe. So like those are about 4. In the pop rock version, I would say Gwen Stefani. Like, to me, I liked her and when she was with No Doubt, and that vibe. I would look up her stuff on YouTube, you know, look back at stuff she did, because I mean, she was in No Doubt a little bit earlier, before, like, you know, my time of just like being into music. But I really, just in looking up YouTube, I saw her stuff from that time, and I was like, wow, that is so cool. Like, she makes me want to do like a pop rock song one day. You know, that specific era kind of stood out to me, you know?
Mhm. No, I love how you run it down the gauntlet of that. A lot of what you have mentioned is a lot of people who are just confident. Like, people are so, you know, sometimes it's hard. I know it's a hard grind. Sometimes you doubt yourself. Sometimes you second guess certain things. But in a lot of cases, and I want to say more than most, everybody that you mentioned, including you in that category yourself, is laced with some kind of confidence, definitely in a sense where it's just not overconfidence, but enough to know, like, you know what, I ain't gonna let this fail. I don't care who tells me. I'm going in, and it ain't nobody stopping me. Like, real deal. Like, that's true.
I mean, Kanye West definitely leads the charge with that, I think, out of all of us, right? But I definitely feel like, you know, they went hard. Everybody, you know, this group of people, all of us, you know, we are inspired and just go for it. I could definitely agree with you there, you know?
Exactly. So listen, my queen, KVictoria, is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. With everything you got going on right now, you got a new single that's out now on Spotify. People need to go tap in, go get it, go stream it, go listen to it, go buy it, all that, right? So what else is on the horizon for you next?
Well, I'm currently working on, this record Visions. I'm working with a Canadian producer, Derek Bryn, from my hometown. But he's actually lives in Toronto as well, so it's kind of like St. Thomas in Toronto. But I will be going out to Canada and performing for the Hollywood North Party this September 7th and 8th and the Young Filmmakers Gala. So that's just a really big thing. And I'm, you know, looking to collaborate with a few people while I'm out there, and in the Toronto Caribbean environment. I mean, I heard that their population has a lot of like Caribbean people, so that just feels like, okay, I'm kind of going home, you know, in a different sort of way. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to that, to see what that's like. But like Caribbean people from all over, so I'm like, okay, that's different. Let me see what that's like. So that's actually coming up soon, September 7th and September 8th. I will be performing live. I will be sure to share anything that I can manage to get, get nice quality, you know, as far as photos and stuff, on my Instagram at iamKVictoria, and on my Twitter at iamKVictoria. And so that will be taking place soon. I'm really excited about it because it's kind of like I'm starting to embark on this project in Canada, and I'm hoping that more opportunities to, you know, work with more people out there come about along the way.
Indeed. And I want everybody to go holler at this young lady. Anything that's booking related, just, you know, follow her on social media. You know what I'm saying? She can direct traffic to the right spots. Follow my girl on IG at iamKVictoria. She's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. And in closing, as we shut it down, I'm trying to do a couple of different things, and just, you know, I always feel like I might catch you off guard with this one. I always feel like if we layer up decades, right, as far as music, every single decade over the last maybe 40, 50 years had a lot of impact when it comes to the music today, obviously. So not including the era that you in, I don't want you to have any bias towards that. So if you could pick a decade out of 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like 2000 all the way up to 2010, What is your best decade and why, as far as music?
Dang, man. Because it's like every decade, there was something like so that was good about it, and then there was something bad.
Exactly. Yes, indeed.
People don't think about that, but like if I just had to at the top of my head, like people don't think about that because they're like, okay, the 90s was dope. It was so much like we're free, you know, just freedom. We're free. Like everything is on the up and up. We're about to have flying cars in like 20 years. I ain't gonna hold you. All of that. That was the vibe.
Yep.
But
yep.
You know, in the 2010, it was like the music kind of evolved, hip hop and stuff. Like I really like the music from there. You know, but I would say the 90s because the music business was just so much more. I feel like it was more like people were making a lot of money, you know.
I agree.
In terms of like, the structure of the business and everything. You know, nowadays there's variable ways to do it, but I feel like at that time it was just sweet in terms of how the business was structured.
Everybody was winning.
It really seems like,
you had so many.
Not even right. Mm-hmm.
You had so many labels spinning off other labels, making money off other labels. It was just and everybody was winning. Like all the R&B groups, male and females, was dominating too. They all had a place in the culture, right?
Was in the building, yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I missed.
It was definitely,
a little bit. Like that's why I say the 90s, because it was just too many good things. You know,
I can respect that. Like, and sweetheart, I was torn because in my life, like, you know, for years, I always say the 80s was always near and dear to my heart, not just because I'm an 80s baby, but like 80s set up like so much for the fusion of hip hop, and even light rock was dope. Pop was dope. Like soundtracks to movies was dope. Like women was still winning back in the day. Like female MCs was winning, like Latifah, MC Light, Yo-Yo, etc. Right?
True.
Like so many people was winning for the first time. You know what I mean? So it was different, but I loved it. In the 90s, like I said, not just for the diverseness, but the entrepreneurs that spawned off of that in the 90s was so beautiful to see, too. So, you know, I'm always torn between the two, so the 2 decades, but they're both near and dear to my heart, so it's all good. So, KVictoria, my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, I'm gonna give you the floor so you can say your shout-outs, direct traffic, and do you, baby, do you.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here. I just want to say shout out to all of the R&B pop soul music lovers. I got something for you. Check out my Instagram at iamKVictoria. All of, you know, my supporters, thank you so much. It's just motivation all the time. And, you know, shout out to my management, my publicist, Sasha, and, you know, the whole team. We're all, you know, working together, and it feels great. Like I'm in a good place with that. And so shout out to y'all doing your thing. And, you know, much love to, hey, Eric and Daniela, if y'all are in here. And much love to everybody who's just, you know, about, you know, love and moving forward and moving on up. Love and moving on up. Shout out to everybody that's on that. And thank y'all so much. Don't forget to check out my website. It has a lot of the new songs I have out now. It's www.iamKVictoria.com. And, yeah, just look forward to more. Look forward to connecting with some of you guys.
Hey,
from here.
KVictoria, I love too, sweetheart. I love too. I do.
Amen. I love great,
energy.
You know, it's good vibes.
I love good vibes. I'm just saying. KVictoria's a vibe.
I love that.
Listen.
That's right.
Just tell me the truth over here at Nexxlegacy. So, you know, I love and I love good energy, and I love good vibes. So if that's KVictoria, then that's love. Just saying.
Yo, for sure. For sure. And I love the same. And it's been great. Like, I just, you know, kicking it with you here today. It's been dope. So I'm appreciative.
The grind's never gonna stop. So we just met for the very first time, but this is not the last time we're gonna have, you know, a collaborative you know, effort to just continue to spread the word and grow and continue good energy.
Absolutely.
Again, good energy matches good energy, and then once you put that together, nothing can't be stopped. You can't stop that. You know what I mean? So it's all good. You in LA, so, you know, I'm up here in the Bay. You're not too far from me, so it's nothing for us to figure out what's what. So we'll figure it out.
I have not been out there yet.
What?
That's terrible. I need to get out there. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
You're gonna have to experience the Bay. I'm gonna have to be a tour guide or something like that. So, you know, we gotta get you a gig out here too, though. Yeah.
That would be,
gotta get you put up
that's
to speed.
ideal.
No doubt.
That is it.
KVictoria, not only do I appreciate you, I appreciate the music. I appreciate everything that you are embodying in terms of effort, talent, everything that's positive and right with everything that I just said. So I not only wish you the very best, your music will continue to get radio spins here on a regular basis as you get to know my station and you get to know how we do. And I'm just proud of you. And I just really want you to see, you know, what I see in terms of just your growth potential and the fact that, you know, there's so many people that will get to know you that's going to catch the same energy as I do and just want to continue to do more. So I appreciate you. Nothing but love, blessings. Thank you for continuing to give us this gift because, you know, it's love. KVictoria is love. And I love KVictoria.
Appreciate you
just
too.
Saying.
One love.
Thank
That's
you. Right.
One love, everybody. And the love back to you.
Hey, that's what it is.
Hey.
And before
Nexxlegacy.